When people come out for the first time and they see this and they step into this, what are they surprised by?
We are the wettest desert in the world, and so I think people are surprised by the greenery and how much plant life and wildlife and the views are just spectacular.
There's a lot of water out here.
Yeah, we actually average about 10 to 14 inches of rain a year, which if you look at the technical definition of a desert, it's 10 inches or less. So we kind of ride that line every year.
What time of year should they come and visit?
Springtime is the best. Just like anywhere else, you're gonna get wildflowers out here, which is another huge surprise. If we get a little bit of decent rain, wildflowers pop up that have been dormant for years. It's just gorgeous.
If you're not a serious biker or a serious hiker, why do they come?
When you can just look at the map and go, where is it 72 degrees in December? That starts the game. We have a combination of beauty that they don't expect, weather that they love, and then the opportunity because the preserve is wrapped around Scottsdale so tightly. Being the wettest desert in the world, we've got 2,000 native plant species.
Wow.
And a lot of them only grow in this desert, including the real iconic one here, the big saguaro cactus.
What's the actual name of the preserve?
Yeah, so it's the McDowell Sonoran Preserve. It started in the early 90s. The residents of the city of Scottsdale really were starting to voice their opinion about wanting to set aside land, and the initial part of the preserve was actually donated by the city.
I was going to ask you, how do you describe how big this really is?
The McDowell Sonoran Preserve is actually 36 times larger than Central Park.
Oh, come on.
And when you talk about it in reference to the city of Scottsdale, it's a third of the landmass of the city. You know, there's multiple trailheads, there's 200 plus miles of mountain biking and hiking trails. You've got rock climbing, you can ride equestrian in the park, and like we were talking about earlier, you can access it from many different points in Scottsdale. So you can go on a quick hike in the morning and, you know, be at five-star dining for lunch.
So, are there other places in the United States that look and feel like this preserve?
That combination of an arid landscape, but that gets a lot of water, and I know that's a strange thing, but that combination creates plants and environment that has adapted specifically to this area. Every cactus out here blooms a flower that's just gorgeous, and that really takes people by surprise. It's incredibly unique.
Some of these saguaros, how old are they?
They're averaging, all of them, about a couple hundred years old, 200 to 300 years or so.
Not only do we have the space, but it is very pristine. I don't see trash, I don't see... apparently somebody is working really hard to make sure that we are respecting the landscape. Because
it's so dry, nothing degrades or deteriorates. Since the 80s, there's been a huge campaign about litter and trash because it just doesn't go away. An orange peel will stay out here for 20 years on the ground. It doesn't just biodegrade because there's no bio.
Are we going to see wildlife while we're out here? Besides, you know, a couple of attractive fellows like you and I.
When the sun is rising or sun is setting, you do have a good chance of running into some gorgeous animals out here. There's mule deer, there's javelina, quail, there's bobcat out here.
Snakes?
You can see snakes in the warmer months, but one of the nice things is all the activities we do out here scare them away. They feel the vibrations in the ground.
Wait a minute. I think I see. Shh. Quiet. Everybody quiet down. Right over here, there's a television producer in his natural habitat.
Yeah, that's right.
Shh, don't startle him.
You don't see that very
often. No, you really don't. Look at that
this
guy.
Is rare.
I mean, look at his coat. Shh, don't scare him.
Some of the main trailheads out here, like the Gateway Trailhead, there's an interpretive center there where you can go through and look at some of the exhibits, follow a very easy nature trail with some interpretive signs. Someone can take you out, custom tailor a trip for you, and you can picture all sorts of scenarios in your head that you've seen in movies and, you know, crossing the West. And this is the kind of terrain that people were looking for to get out from the East Coast and into the West and start a new life. And you can put yourself in this scenario and really imagine what it's like because there's wide open spaces and nothing's changed.
That brings us back to the Old West versus the New West, which is the New West and what New Scottsdale is all about. It's all right here.
That close proximity is probably what defines that difference.
Yeah.
You can step into the Old West, but then you can step right into the new and dust off.
Chris, good to meet you. Thank you, man.